Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
That's what I tell them. I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. Hot or cold, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles. Compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles. Go take care of your business. Success Chronicles. It's deeper than just winning. Success Chronicles.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with another episode of the Success Chronicles. And I've been excited about this one. Been looking forward to have Coach LaQueisha Dickerson on with us, man. Great lady, doing some great things in education, in sports, with people, doing just a great lady, doing some great things. So first, Coach, thanks so much for taking the time to interview with me on the Success Chronicles.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Well, let's dive into it. Off air, we talked a little bit about, some of the things like your first few days and your back. But if you don't mind sharing a little bit about your background, and so the audience will have an idea of who you are and what it is you do.
Well, I'm LaQueisha Dickerson. I'm the head girls basketball coach at Fort Bend Austin, down here in Sugar Land, Texas. Also serve as the co-campus athletic coordinator. So kind of oversee all the girls sports on campus. It's my fourth year at Austin. I'm an Oklahoma native, so I'm not a Texan. I mean, I've been here long enough. People say you're a Texan now, but my roots are in Oklahoma City. So I'm a country girl, born and raised. All my family is still there. Graduated high school there. Went and played 2 years of junior college in Oklahoma, Northern Oklahoma College. Made my way to Texas to Lamar University. My coach left, so I left, and I ended up finishing at Southwest Missouri State in Springfield, Missouri, and went back to Oklahoma, worked with my high school coach and coach the legendary Coach Arnelia Spears. And then I had an opportunity to go back to the junior college to work with my junior college coach, who I played for. He's actually still there, and I've been able to send him about 4 kids since I've been coaching. So he's coached 4 of my kids. Then I went on down to the Valley to it's UT RGV now, but it was UT Pan Am down in the Rio Grande Valley. Yep, down in Edinburgh. I was at UTPA for 4 years before making my way to the Houston area, where I've kind of set up roots about 14 years ago. Started at Lamar Consolidated, was there for 8 years. Went over to Cy Woods for 3, and then I've been here at Fort Bend Austin for the last 4.
Cool, man. Such a neat journey.
Yeah.
I think something that comes up for me is when I hear you talk about your first off hard work, but then quality relationships. Those things that you talked about, those things don't happen if you don't have quality relationships and you ain't put the work in.
I agree. I totally agree. I mean, I am the 4th of 5 kids. My parents have 5 children. I'm the only girl I have 4 brothers. Yeah. I have 4 brothers.
Yeah, no wonder you're a hooper.
Yeah, no choice. Yeah. Had to grow up being tough.
Yeah.
Had to, fight for what you wanted in the house. You wanted food, you better get in that kitchen first. And wasn't just because I was babied by my brothers when it was convenient for them. But outside of that, if it was something that they wanted and I had, or they felt like I was getting treatment because I was only girl, then you had to put up your dukes and fight for it. So that's kind of been my background. I mean, I was raised like that. My dad was involved in my life, but my mom raised us as a single parent. And my dad was he was there, but my mom was my foundation, and ended up moving in with my grandparents in the 7th grade so that they could help my mother because I had 4 knucklehead brothers that like the streets a little bit. So and my mom worked, and so my safe space was my grandparents' house, and my grandfather was a pastor. He founded our church in Oklahoma City. And so I grew up a church girl. I grew up
Awesome.
Working in the church and working in the community and serving people. I learned that at an early age with my grandparents and with my mom. And so my mom she's retired, but she did home health until she retired. And so she's always been caring for people, always cared for the people. So that's where I get that from. I get that from her, and I get my hard work from my dad and from my grandparents, which was my dad's parents, very hard workers. And so that's been my life. I mean, nothing that I have has been handed to me. Everything that I have, I've worked for it, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Well, what are 3 things you've accomplished in your life that you're proud of?
Oh gosh. If I can stay on the basic, again, from where I come from, a lot of people think that graduating high school and going to college is a commonality. And the community where I was raised, it wasn't a commonality. It wasn't something that everybody had an opportunity to do. And so I would say the first thing is, finishing high school and earning a college scholarship. Because had I not gotten that scholarship, I may still be in school paying for school because my parents couldn't afford that. And so I would say earning that college scholarship. And then I would say the next thing would be graduating from college, actually earning that degree. I went on to get my master's as well, and have toyed around and played around with pursuing a doctorate's degree. But man, it's expensive and it's a lot of time. And I would say, the last thing is this career that I've found my niche in is probably the biggest accomplishment of my life, because had I not graduated high school and had I not finished that college degree, I wouldn't have the opportunity to serve the capacity that I get to serve in now. And the bonus would be the recent being named a board member of the largest, the best high school coaching association in the world, but being able to serve on the board of THSCA is kind of a culmination. It's not the end, because I have a lot more in me and a lot more to do, but it's definitely that middle ground and culmination of what the first part of my life has been. And so this, I think, is making me super excited about what God has in store for me coming up. So yeah, that's me. Those are probably the top 3 things: graduating from high school, getting that college scholarship, earning that college degree, and then being a part of this this profession, the greatest profession in the world, being able to teach and coach kids.
Well, first, I'm gonna say congrats on
Thank
all
you.
of that. But then I just want to say, I think it's so awesome, your journey. Just hearing about your journey, the work, where you come from, how it was for you to being to where you are now, because to me that shows that
Mm-hmm.
you get it.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think that when you're in a position like that, you can relate well to athletes and kids, because
I lived it.
Yes.
I know the grind. I know the
Yes.
grind. I understand the grind.
Yeah. Well, just hearing you talk about your journey, hearing you discuss the things that you're proud of, I would consider that to be hugely successful. So let's hit on success. What is your definition of success?
Success for me, it's not about wins and losses. I mean, I'd be lying if I told you that when people say, winning is not important, because it is. You don't play the game if you don't prepare and expect to win. But I think success for me is my happiness. It's being in a place that God has called me to be in, and serving people in the capacity that I get to serve in, and seeing them flourish and grow and nurture relationships. For me, I mean, getting to do this job and the success that I've had at the schools that I've been a part of. Recently, this school, the last 2 years, my basketball program is 58-10. And we made some history at this school with limited players, limited numbers. We have resources, but may not be the same resources as some of the other 6A schools that are around. And so those things are important to me. Being a part of something that's bigger than me, to me, is success. And so if I have to, sum it up, yeah, I want to win. I'm a competitor. I don't get on the floor. We're not gonna thumb wrestle if I don't think I can win. But that's not for me the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is when kids leave me, what are they going into this world to do? How are they going to impact the world? And if I can just get, kids to buy into, I guess, what I'm serving up, or what I'm trying to give, if they can just take something from that and go out into the world and be productive citizens in society, to me, that makes me successful. I know we talked before, we talked offline, but right now, I would say a success story is today, Quatera Limbrick, she played for me at Lamar Consolidated, which was the first high school I worked at here. We made history at that school. That school was built in 1949, the flagship of LCISD. And in the history of the program, or in the history of the district in basketball, not a single team had ever made it to the regional tournament. And that kid was a freshman on my team and took us to the regional tournament 2012. And she gets to work on my staff. She started today, officially got hired on today, and she'll get to coach with me. I'll get to coach alongside of her for hopefully the next couple of years, and continue to be a part of her life. And so when you talk about success, again, for me, I'm living the successful life. Whether I'm going to try to win every game, but whether I win another game that I ever get an opportunity to coach, the fact that I get to have this young lady on the side of me on the sidelines these next couple of years excites me, and it's all full circle.
It's cool. It's so great when we can be in a situation to, I think, first off, have the longevity to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But then be that much of a coach of a value that your players want to work with you.
Yeah.
And so I think that says a lot about who you are and what you do and how you do what you do, right? Because there's a difference.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so I think that's awesome. So what I want to do now is just like off script here. I want to just throw out some words or phrases at you. And if you don't mind, just talk to me about what comes to mind or to heart as I say these words to you. You good with doing that?
We can try it. Let's go.
Like, let's go. Let's go.
Right.
So the first one is mentorship.
My life story. I wouldn't be who I am today had it not been for Arnelia Spears, my high school basketball coach, Don Willis, my middle school basketball coach, and some of the members. I can name several members in my church family growing up, and of course, my family. But outside of my family, those people outside of my family that took the time to make sure I was okay, to make sure that when my mom was at work, that I had a ride to and from basketball practice, something that they knew was important to me, and made sure that if my mom couldn't make it to games or my dad couldn't make it to games, that they were there in the stands cheering me on and holding me accountable if I was, slipping up. And so when I think of the word mentorship, I think of my life, and I think of where I am today, and I wouldn't be here today actually giving that back if I didn't have that for myself. So I had the model, and the model was there for me. And so I hope that I get to continue to be that model for people and young people that I get to come in contact with.
So good. All right, let's go.
Okay.
Let's go quality relationships.
Oh my God, it's important. It's important. I don't want to just be your friend, and I don't want you just to be my friend. I want to impact your life, and I want you to impact my life. And
wait a minute. Go back, Coach. You got to give him that one more time. Give him that again. Let's go.
God, I don't want to just be your friend, and I don't want you to just be my friend, right? I'm in your life to impact your life, and you're in my life to impact my life. And if we can't impact one another's lives, we can be cordial, but we can't be in a quality relationship, right? And so for me, it's got to be authentic. It's got to be real. We can say hi and bye and laugh and joke all day, but when it's rough and when my brothers, I have brothers, one particularly that's been incarcerated for a while, and if I'm struggling with that, are you there for me? Can I talk to you? I lose a family member, and I'm the backbone of my family. I just planned a funeral last week for my uncle, and I have two uncles right now that are literally right now as we speak in the hospital, and I reach out to one of my aunts every morning so that we can have prayer because my uncle, he had a mass on his brain, and so they just removed it yesterday, and so I've been back and forth checking on her. And so if when I'm weak, where are you? Are you there? And so those people that I have quality relationships with, I'm not just in their lives again to just be in their lives. I'm there to impact, and I expect that in return. So there you go.
Hey, before we go on, I got one word in response to your
Okay.
answer to that, and that word is boom.
Boom.
Let's
Boom.
go.
There you go. Boom. Yeah. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
yeah. All right, so the last one I'm
Okay.
gonna give you is, ooh, hold on. I'm gonna pause a little bit before I
Okay.
give this one, and I'm
Okay.
gonna warn you because it's the good one right here. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. All right. So the last one is legacy.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
legacy. Gosh, I mean, I'd have to go back to my life. Um, when I think about the dash of of I was born in 1980, and whenever God says it's the end for me, that dash. What are people going to remember about that dash? About Coach Dickerson, about LaQueisha. My nickname with my family is Jamma because I used to say I was a bad mama jamma. And so when I think about my legacy, or just the word legacy, I think about, did I leave the world better than I found it? Did I leave relationships better than I found them? When kids came into my life, did I leave them better than I found them? I'm not in the classroom anymore the last 2 years, and in my new role. And so I used to, when I would go in the classroom, that was my approach from the start to the end of the year. I know I can impact the lives of my basketball players because that's natural for me. But I was an English teacher. I majored in English, and so I taught English for 14 years. But when those kids left my classroom, were they better writers? Were they better readers? But not only that, but were they better people? And so when I think about legacy, I think about my dash and that little bitty dash that goes between those numbers. I hope that when the curtains close and the whistle hangs up and God says, "Well done," I hope that "well done" really means that I impacted this world the way that this world has been an impact to me. So my legacy it's important to me. I don't do anything just by like happenstance. My life is strategic. I try to plan where I want to be, how I want to get there, and what I'm going to do to get there. And if I learn, because I don't fail, if I learn along the way, I hope that that lesson that I learn propels me to the next phase and to the next step, and that I'm better than I was in that previous step, because I'm always thinking about my legacy. I'm always thinking about, am I leaving people and am I leaving places better than I found them?
Intentional.
Oh, so
Mm-hmm.
what's crazy is my every year I choose a word, and if I at home I have a vision board, and the word that I had last year for for 2022 was intentional. That was my word for the year, because I wanted to make sure that, again, I always want to be impactful, but that my relationships, that I was being intentional. My friends, if you called any one of my friends right now, they would tell you, LaQueisha is always the friend that randomly is going to send a text message to check on me. We don't talk for how my friends are all back in Oklahoma, my best friends, and they'll tell you if something is going wrong, or if they need something, they know that if they call, then I'm there, because I always want to be intentional about we don't have a lot of time here on earth. We are on borrowed time. And so if we're not being intentional about our relationships and about what we're doing for people and with people, then we're going to miss the boat.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Hey, I got a funny for you. So
Yeah.
so when I heard, so the last word I was gonna give you was legacy, but then when I heard you give
said
your
intentional.
Yeah.
You're like, I gotta get it to her.
Yeah. Gotta be intentional. Well,
that was my word for 2022.
That's crazy. Well, as we close, I'd love for you to get an opportunity to share with the audience where they can go follow you and check you out and show you some love with all of the amazing things you have going on.
Yeah, the biggest one is my Twitter. I'm Coach Dickerson on Twitter. I think I am at Queisha44, QUEISJ 44. That's probably the main one. I am on Facebook too, just LaQueisha Dickerson on Facebook. My Facebook's not private because I'm always trying to, I always will share or quote spiritual or motivational or inspirational things. So I used to have my Facebook private back in the day, and I'm like, how are you going to reach people if the only people that ever get to see you are the people that already know you? So if they already know me, right? Well, I don't need to be private. So my Facebook's not private because I want people to know. I want to be intentional about my legacy that I'm leaving here, because the relationships, the quality relationships that I built through Facebook, through my job, through the church, through THSCA, and all of those things, they're important to me. So so they can follow me on my Twitter, go to my Facebook. I have an Instagram, but really I just like to watch funny stuff on Instagram. I like to watch the reels and stuff and share with my friends. So I don't really do a lot of posting on Instagram, but my Twitter, I do a pretty good job of trying to keep up with Twitter.
Well, there it is. I just want to say again, thank you so much for taking the time to interview with me and hang out with the Success Chronicles, and truly appreciate you taking the time. And I wish you continued success.
Yeah, well, I want to say to you, thank you for this opportunity. When I think about things and people and words that inspire me, you're one of those people that if it wasn't for a few weeks ago and the Fort Bend allowing you to come and speak to us, I probably would have met you. I've seen you. I saw you at the Rock mentorship thing that we did, and I was like, he don't know me. He big time. Because when you say, I wrote a book, like a real book, like a real book, right? That means something to me. And I'm like, I've seen the YouTube, the videos and all that stuff, and have every now and then somebody will share a clip of something that you've said. And I'm like, man, yes. So when I knew that we were going to have the opportunity to hear you at our student athlete leadership, where was I? You saw me on front row. I made sure all my kids were right there on front row. And so thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for what you do for the game, for the sports game just in general, but thank you for what you do for people. You may not know the amount of lives that you impact by the things that you say, but you impact a lot of people's lives. And when people say, oh, Chip Baker, I can say, I know Chip, that's my boy now. I gotta tell Veronica Johnson, she gonna watch this. I gotta tell her Chip is my boy, because she like, that's
Yep.
my boy. No, that's my
Yep.
boy. That's our boy now. That's our
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah.
So I got to
Yeah.
tell her that I got to get on with you today. But no, thank you for the
Man.
opportunity. Thank you for what you do, and I'm honored that you allowed me to have some of your time today.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, appreciate you, Coach, and thank you guys so much for checking out this session. We'll see you next time. God bless. Go get it.